Using ground blinds is a really flexible way to hunt. You can set it up for the day and then move it, and it only takes a few minutes. We're going to show you what you need to know about selecting, sighting, and setting up your ground blind up next. I'm your host Evan. Welcome to Hunting Lessons. Thanks for joining me on Hunting Lessons. Over the past couple episodes, we started getting out onto the ground we're going to be hunting this season. So we just set up some trail cameras, did our first card pull, and over the next couple episodes, we're going to keep covering the skills you need to know this season. So be sure to subscribe down below, hit that notification icon so you don't miss what we've got coming up, and it really does help this channel out. So on this episode, we're going to be going over the considerations for picking out the right blind, finding the ideal spot, then setting it up once you've got it in that right spot. So how do you choose the right ground blind? Well, it depends on what you're using it for. I shot my first whitetail out of an Ameristep doghouse ground blind during general rifle season. That blind, it was super easy and quick to set up, and it had room for me, my chair, my pack, and my rifle and shooting stick out ahead of me. When I started bow hunting last year and tried to use that same ground blind, blew a chance at a really nice buck. It was at full draw waiting for the buck to clear some bushes at about 15 yards out, and the top cam just brushed the top of the blind inside. The buck heard, turned tail, and took off. So that afternoon I upgraded to an Ameristep brick house. That blind has plenty of room for bow hunting. I can draw in it no problem, and I've included links to both of those blinds down below. So go ahead and check out those links, and even if you don't use the links to buy what we're recommending, that's great, but if you click on those links before you do your Amazon shopping, that gives us the resources to keep making these videos for you, and your support is really appreciated. So let's talk about some sighting considerations and how you can find the right spot to put your blind. Finding a spot to set up your blind, there's a few key things to consider. So first, where's the game usually located? And second, what direction is the wind usually coming from? You want to set up your blind downwind from where the game is going to be. So here on this property, I found that 80 to 90% of the time, for some reason, the wind is out of the north or the east or somewhere in between, which is actually perfect. So the brown lines on the picture represent the game trails that I photographed the deer on. So I set up my blind at the corner of the field in a bit of uncleared brush, which puts my blind downwind most of the time from the game trails. And my approach to the blind is all the way around the woods and then in from the west. So that works to manage my scent based on the typical wind direction. Alright, so now that you found the right spot, let's go set up the ground blind. Okay, so you got your blind set up. What next? There's a couple other steps to making sure your blind is huntable. I learned the hard way last year that the round pegs supplied with your blind are no match for Alberta's Chinook winds. So when I came up here one day and found this blind 50 yards back in the woods that day, since then I upgraded the pegs to the beefier T-shaped plastic pegs, and then I've also made sure that since then the blind is always tied down. Alright, so once you get your blind secured, go inside, clean out all this vegetation in here. You want to get that out because once that dries, it's going to make a lot of noise, and you don't want any noise coming from your blind, so get that all out of there. I wanted to show you a couple other items that I picked up for my blind. So I picked up this rotating seat cushion for the 5-gallon bucket. I found first when I tried to put a foamy cushion on the bottom side of a flipped over bucket, it made a lot of noise as I tried to rotate on the seat. Also wasn't that comfortable, and you felt the grooves coming right through the cushion. The other thing that I picked up is one of these thick 24-inch gear ties, and I hang this from the frame inside. That allows me to hang my bow from this right inside with an arrow knocked instead of having to hold it on my lap for hours at a time. So these were both great things that I picked up that made hunting out of the ground blind a whole lot more comfortable. finally, if you want, you can brush in your ground blind a little bit. I've had some pretty good success with just some minor brushing in and making sure that I'm sighting my ground blind in amongst some cover. But you can do a quick Google search and you can see some pretty impressive brush-in jobs. So that's it for today. I'll do another episode later on about actually hunting from ground blinds, so keep a lookout for our future videos. Thanks again for joining us on Hunting Lessons. Hunting season's just around the corner. Till next time, keep learning.